Hello, beautiful, sexy people. Welcome to my penthouse. We're going to have a blast tonight. I'm going to tell you, share with you things that you will not believe. It's fact. It's huge. I'm a very lucky man. I'm going to tell you stories about an alien-human hybrid friend of mine by the name of Nucleus 8. We're going to get into that later because I'm going to keep you hanging and swanging and twanging on the banjo. I'm also going to be talking about astral projection. What is astral projection? You know what it is. You may not know what it's called because you've done it before. Many times, in fact, since you were a child. When you leave your body, you don't really per se leave your body. It's impossible. You just go to another dimension of the spirit. But it feels like you're leaving the body. I just got some new lighting from Lowe's. $19 a piece. I have 2 lamps, some diffusion paper, and a green screen behind me. This is big enough to cover the back of my skull. We're going to be talking about aliens and other worlds. Talked about it quite often, in fact. Not to this depth. We're going to get deep into the rabbit hole, y'all. For 4.5 years, I hung out with an alien. Yes, I said that. An alien-human hybrid. Keith, somebody was trying to... No. I was hanging out with an alien-human hybrid for 4.5 years. You will understand by the time we come to the end of this presentation. His name is Nucleus 8. His mother was an alien gray, and his father was an Egyptian king. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? I love crazy shit. My life is crazy. In all the right ways. Welcome, everybody. First order of business. Let's see who's up ahead. Let's do the thing, y'all. Roll call. When I call your name, you got to give me an exclamation point, meaning present. I am present. That's where we want to be. We want to be present. Or I'm here. Exclamation point. Roll call. Hi, Tanya Beckwith, Nathan McNeil, Elwood. Puri Wapuri Hapakuku. I'm getting good, baby. Melanie Davis, love from Washington State, she says. I'm going to give a Facebook love juicy poke. This should be super good. It's going to be super cray-cray, I tell you that. Says Unson. I'm going to take care. You know what? Let's do this. I'll do it for newcomers, but I won't do it for the regulars. If you say something, which you always do, really off the chart, I'm going to give you a like, love, laugh, or whatever. But if I don't like, love, cry your post, know that I see them and I will read them accordingly. But I don't want you to wake up tomorrow morning and have your notification box slammed with Keith liking everything I said. So if I don't like what you said, I love what you said. Let's leave that there. And I will respond to those that really need some embellishment and so forth and so on, right? Randy Pinnell. See who else is here. Melissa. Kim Gary, do you think he is stuck in his porthole? Yeah, I'm stuck in my porthole. You so cray-cray. Darlene, Steve Fish, Mary. Let me turn off this heater. Sounds like a spaceship. Kelly, Unson, Malia. Amy Jameson up here. That girl can sing, and she can twang too now. All right, so we did roll call. Let's see, right, here we go. Everybody's doing roll call. I love it. Just because I want you to respond. Uh-oh, I saw a couple of artifacts. We ain't going to have that. So welcome to the presentation tonight. Out of This World. Nucleus 8, my human hybrid alien friend, is out of this world. Astral travel is out of this world. It's beyond this world. Hi, Karen Renando. It's going to be fun. I am going to give you something special. Why? Keith, please, really, please. Why would I do that? Because I love you. I'm going to do lots of reading. Check this out. It ain't from a book. It's from a dialogue I started up again with Nucleus 8 after 14 and a half years. The last time, when I met Nucleus 8, my alien human hybrid friend, is in 1998. 1998. I saw him for 4.5 years, and then I did not connect with him till 2.5 years ago. I didn't see him for 14 years. Coincidentally, the very first Center of Light radio show that ever aired with Inception Radio Network, my guest was Dr. Rex Hare, the doctor, the psychologist, 40-year clinical psychologist, who is married to the woman that Nucleus 8 worked through. The next day, I get a Facebook inbox message. We're going to get to that. My ongoing dialogue till this day, it's not every day. He is head of security of this quadrant of our galaxy. He's a very busy fella. Hi, beautiful Rena. I love me some Rena, y'all. So welcome to my penthouse. We're about to open up a can of whip-ass fun. Stick around. It's going to get cray-cray.
Surely as the rain may fall, I wonder why. Worried there'll come a time when my world is dry, oh so dry. In the summertime I won't have no water. The way it's a little bit harder to take. As I contemplate a billion stars, leaving my hands to fate, that's all I've got, all I've got. In the summertime, I won't have no water. Oh, the wait, it's a little bit harder to leaving my hands to fade, all up to fade. I wonder why. Ooh, I wonder why. Time for a change. Time for a change. Time for a change.
Hello, beautiful friends. Keith Anthony Blanchard here with an amazing product offer. We have been hearing about hemp oil for the last couple of years and its potential. Let me introduce you to my dear friend, Miss Jackie Atwell. Our oil helps bring your body back to a state of wellness. It is also used as a preventative from illness. It works by bringing the body back to homeostasis and balance. It's a natural, organic, non-GMO, full-spectrum oil. Third-party tested and comes with a certificate of analysis posted on our information page. Awesome anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. If you are suffering in silence, give it a try. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. 60-day empty bottle money-back guaranteed refund. To order, go to www.hempworks.com/Jackie Atwell. That's www.hempworks.com/Jackie Atwell. Welcome to the center of light in the high desert. Check out this image behind me. Hello, beautiful, sexy people. My cosmic tribe. I love space, as you have probably can tell by now. I love it. I love it. I love the light from space. I love all that it means. So do you, don't you? Tonight's presentation is Out of This World. We're going to be talking about my friend, alien human hybrid friend, Nucleus 8. Heroic Nucleus 8, if I may say correctly, as well as astral projection out-of-body experiences. If you look in this forum, you will see a group of links. Donate, I need a sandwich. I'm cheaper than cable. Actually, I'm pretty cheap, period. You will see a link to my YouTube channel. Please go there and subscribe. Give me some thumbs up on my archive videos. Give me some comments. Helps my listener, viewer base to grow, expand. Isn't that what we're all about? Expansion. You'll see a couple of links to some movies. Whole bunch of goodies. Make sure you check them out. They are important. It's just not some advertisement I'm laying on you. There's some bang for your no buck. Go figure. Welcome to Center of Light. Let me see if there are any newcomers. My brother from another cosmic mother I just met the other night, the other night. Jethan PV. He's from India. I miss Mother India. My beautiful friend Rena had the beautiful idea to say, hey Keith, why don't we get a group together and just go to India? I was like, why not? So Rena and I are discussing India, April, May kind of thing. Jackie, Melanie, Elwood, Darlene, whoever you are. Woo! Woo! The train is going to pull out the station, y'all. I need a breath. Not because I'm out of breath. I need a breath. I need to pause. Long day, getting all the lighting right. And it's very simple. It's not this normal green screen. It's new software technology that is just amazing. But I've been running around trying to get everything right. Now that I have dealing with cable, Comcast, for 3 weeks. It's still taxing me, y'all. Listen to me. It's still taxing me, y'all. Oh. But we're going to get cosmic tonight. Hello, Raquel Irene Canfield. I'm finding you. I'm going to stalk you right now. She's like, oh my God, who is this weird man? Raquel, I'm coming for you. I'm going to find you on Facebook and friend request you right now. You can either deny it or reciprocate. I know I'm taking a long time to get to the punch. Could be on purpose. Or both. I'm looking up some Raquel. We are friends. Bless it. My bad. I can own my shiznit when I need to. Carla Holy's in the house. I'm going to get started here shortly. I got to fall in. I can't just start dialoguing for the sake of dialogue. It doesn't feel right. It feels wrong. Does it feel right? It feels wrong. Kim Gary sends me a whole bunch of hearts. She said, let it go. Amy Jameson said, you did an amazing job. It looks great. Facebook love poke for some image. Carly Hole is in the house. Hi, Carla. The high desert is gorgeous, Melanie says. Raquel says, hi, Keith Anthony Blanchard. Facebook love poke for this beautiful girl. Cosmic Sistar. Amy says, God, capital God, made Comcast to test your faith. That is no joke. Facebook laugh poke. I'm not there yet. And on purpose. I am not doing this part on purpose. I'm just not there yet. What is happening on Earth is not about the Earth. What is happening on Earth is cosmic. You've heard me say that. I just said it. Again. And I'm going to say it again. What's happening on Earth is not about the Earth. What is happening on Earth is cosmic. It's happening. What is the it that's happening, Keith? Yanava. What is the it? It just comes over me. I didn't feel it before, and I looked at the screen, and I saw the high desert that Melanie loves. And I did that. And it's saying I'm settling in, it's coming in, and neck, spine, erect, God, caduceus medical staff, Shiva, Kundalini energy, moving in, expanding, and here we go. The stories you are going to partake in tonight are stories. But they're beyond that. They are the truth. They are the truth. Can you handle the truth? So said Jack Nicholson. Crazy man. So it seems. Keith seems crazy. So it seems. But in this realization of what would be present for you, can possibly fill all of your dreams. How is that so? Stick around. Hello, Trent Wilkerson. Okay, let me get to my notes. My dialogue. We're going to start with my dialogue with my alien human hybrid friend, Nucleus 8. It's lengthy. I'm going to do my best as I read it to weed it out. There's going to be some stammering and some stuttering because what I did was copied and pasted to a document 2.5, 3 years of dialogue, and it just gets so discombobulated and whatever. So that Center of Light radio show I did, the first one on Inception Radio Network, when Center of Light was born. Coincidentally, when I interviewed Dr. Rex Hare, 40-year clinical psychologist, the next day, this shows up in my Facebook inbox. Take your seatbelt off. We're about to get naked. I get a message that says, "Hey Keith, after 14 years of hanging out with my alien human hybrid friend for 4.5 years, after 14 years, there's a message in my inbox after I coincidentally did a show with Rex Hare. The man who married the woman with which Nucleus 8 worked through." Let me share with you how I met Nucleus 8. I'm at a metaphysical church, waiting in queue for the doors to open so we can just usher in. A friend of mine, she's very goofy, like me, says, "Keith, how you doing?" We chatted for a second. She goes, "Keith, I came over here to tell you or ask you, would you like to meet an alien being?" I said, "Sure," thinking she was being goofy, and she is goofy, but she was serious. She says, "Follow me." I proceeded to follow her. She brought me up to the backside of this 5'1" woman. I did not know what to expect. I didn't know if a little green man was going to jump behind the building and say, "Nanu, Nanu," or Spock would be, I had no idea. So she brings me up to the backside of this 5'1" woman and says, "Keith, meet Nucleus 8. Nucleus 8, meet Keith." And this 5' woman turns around to say, 5'1" woman, think about this. What do you think her voice would sound like? Like this? Yes, that's how she naturally sounds. The voice that came out of her when she turned around and said, "What do you want from me?" was not contrived. It was not acted out. It was not, it's the word I'm looking for. It wasn't contrived. It just wasn't. It wasn't made up. Though she's 5'1", the energy that came out of her was very, very masculine. Very, very robust. Very, very powerful. As it reaches to shake my hand and says, "Hi, Keith, what do you want from me?" And I'm like, well, that's a strange way to greet a person. What do you want from me? And I was sitting there thinking about it. And the energy in the body, Nucleus 8, says, You want data, don't you? And I thought it's strange. Why wouldn't it say conversation? Go have a beer and a tequila. It says, you want data. And I was befuddled. And then he started laughing. He says, I'm just messing with you. He was trying to break the energy to be light, jovial. Shook his hand, its hand, their hand, and we parted ways. Star One, the 5'1" woman, for a lot of her life she's been abused. Early childhood. And when she was young, they picked her up and said, we will work with you, we will help you, we will protect you. But when you get older, Nucleus 8 is going to work through your vessel. That is the contract. She said agreed. One day, she visits Dr. 40-year clinical psychiatrist Rex Hare for a session for her abuse. When she's laying down on the table, he puts in a very light hypnosis. And as he's done, countered her down into it, the first thing that pops up is a fairy by the name of Perithnia. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Hang tight. And the first thing that Perithnia says is, if you think you're going to come in here and monkey with her mind, like many in the past have done, I will stop you myself. Logically, your mind goes to multiple personalities. This is not that. It's not that. Session after session, energies begin to come in. Fairies, shamans, angels, archangels, and finally, Nucleus 8. After a while of Nucleus 8 making himself known, or his presence felt and known, Dr. Rex Hare invited some of his colleagues into his session with Star One. And he says, I need your help. And his colleagues, hello Shasha, his colleagues are in on the session. After the session was over, they walked out and said, Rex, you are on your own on this one. And they left. Star One and Dr. Rex Hare got married over a period of time because of their connection. Then it all started happening. Nucleus 8 spontaneously would just show up in the house, and often there was an explosion like a thunderclap, and he would show up in a body. So after I interviewed Dr. Rex Hare on Center of Light Radio, coincidentally the first episode, the next day I have in my Facebook inbox message box, it says, hey Keith, after 14 and a half years, excuse me, hey Keith, hello Adana. Hey Keith, it's Frank. You will notice the character, the dialogue, his way is not normal. It's a fact. You will feel it. I'm going to do everything to not stammer because it's all word unwrapped. Hey Keith, it's Frank. How about letting the old man into your Center of Light group? Nucleus 8 at that time when I knew him hanging out was 4,720 years old. Their technology is such that before you die, they can heal you and rejuvenate you half that time. Before you die again, they can rejuvenate you and you can live half that time. The next time you're spent, you're done, you go to another level of consciousness. Hey Keith, it's Frank here. Don't know who in the hell is Frank. How about letting the old man into your center of light group? I say, I just added you. He says, by the way, here's where his dialogue is going to wow you. It's very alien, pun intended, like. By the way, Facebook is strange. Very strange indeed. I am most thankful, he says. And I say, do you work with Nucleus 8? Keep in mind, I'm going to call Nucleus 8 Nuke or 8 throughout this presentation. And I said, do you work with Nucleus 8? He said, Keith, Star 1 is channeling me. This is Nucleus 8, and you better be jumping up and down. After 14 years, I say, I am! Exclamation point. He says, that's better, brother. He's got this ego trip, but not really. He plays with it. He likes being that role. He says, you better. And I said, I am. He says, that's better, brother. And I said, bro, it's been a long time. How are you? He says, indeed it has been. I am getting older. Which now he is 4,700, almost 40 years old. Indeed it has been. I'm getting older. And I say, it touches my heart. Listen to this dialogue. It touches my heart that you are making contact with me. Listen to this. He says, you have been pulling at me with great force lately. How could I resist you any longer? Nucleus 8, many years ago, gave me an implant. He was head of our meditation group. One day he calls me mid-afternoon-ish. Says, hi, Keith. I said, hey, buddy, what's going on? He says, Keith, everyone in our group has an implant but you. I said, okay. He says, they're smaller than the eye can see. I have one left. It was created for you. Do you want it? I said, convince me I want it. He said, fair enough. If you're lost, we can find you. If you're in trouble, we can help you. And if you are sick, we can administer medicine through it. He named a couple extra perks. I said, okay, what's the drawback? He said, your life is no longer private. And I thought about it. Am I ashamed of me touching myself? Me doing some of the things I did or didn't do? And I said, whatever. I said, I'm good. He said, the next time you and I talk face to face or over the phone, it will be implanted. I said, okay. That night, I'll go play music at the casino. 7 sets. 7 long, grueling sets of music. I get done. I get home 3:30, 4 in the morning. Just dog tired. I don't care if I dream I want to go to bed. I come to a state of consciousness because of an excruciating pain in my right kidney region. Brought me to a state of consciousness while I was sleeping. Full-blown consciousness, mind you. I look over my shoulder to find out where the source of this pain is coming from. And it's the equivalent of what we would call like an 85-year-old woman. An old alien woman. So she had to be thousands upon thousands of years old. And she has me in her arms. And she's walking me towards what we would call a lawn chair, where Nucleus 8 is sitting, lounging. The pain is so excruciating, I become nauseous. I look over my shoulder to see the woman that implanted the implant, and she's going, silly boy, You went into this on some level assuming it would hurt. And guess what? Because of your assumptions, you made yourself right in your arrogance. She proceeds, hello Sharon Turco. She proceeds to take me to that lawn chair where Nucleus 8, the alien human hybrid, 4,720 years old back then, is lounging. And because of the pain is so intense, I begin to vomit, and I begin to vomit all over his feet. Listen. My phone in my actual bedroom rings. Guess who's on the phone? Nucleus 8. He says, "Good morning, Keith," in his way that you're going to learn about really quick. I said, "Good morning, bro. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk to an alien human hybrid, right?" I said, "Dude, I just had a dream about you." He said, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Man, don't tell me. I just had a dream about you." He said, "Keith, you were not dreaming." I said, "Are you sure about that?" He says, "The vomit all over my feet tells me so." Mind blown in 1990, 8.5, when this occurred. Getting back to my dialogue of the last 2 years with Nucleus 8, I said, when he showed up again after 14 years, he said, "It touches my," I say, "It touches my heart that you're making contact with me." He says, "You have been pulling at me with great force lately. How could I resist you any longer?" He has awareness on six. He can monitor 6 dimensions simultaneously. I say, "I am. What is it about? Anything you can share?" And he says, "Establishing a strong connection again from what I understand. Good enough for me," he says. I say, "Yes, thank you." He says, "Are you working tonight?" And I say, "No, I'm off." He says, "Enjoy your rest. How's your son?" And I say, "Powerful, beautiful, and growing. You can come and work with me anytime. Dreamland is good." He says, "So I have seen. Congratulations on becoming a father." After 14 years, I haven't seen him. And I say, he says, "I apologize for being so late with this. If time permits me, I have a bit of lag time currently." And I say, "You are busy, and my thoughts and love for you never waver." He says, "You have never left me alone." My sincerest appreciations to you, Keith, for your loyalty and to our brotherhood. I say, if you do come in a dream, if your time permits, help me be conscious of it and take me somewhere. He says, if you will permit me to tweak your implant after 14 years, it will be painless this time. But if you insist on the pain, we will fulfill you full of wonderful narcotics. When I said they can administer drugs, he says, "How does this sound?" I say, "No pain is good." He says, "Will do. I will set up an appointment for you." And I say, "And please tell the lady that carried, the alien lady that carried me, hello." Thank you, Nucleus 8. Are you planning to stay in touch and are going to be around for a while here on this plane? And Nucleus responds, "LOL, I most certainly will. Indeed, I will be near for the time being. I might consider taking a leave. Events depend." You know I'm not making this up. This is a dialogue I'm having. And I say, "I won't keep you any longer for the day. It is such a pleasure to talk with you again. And as I said before, come see me anytime and make me conscious so I can remember I was at your meeting." He says, "We can work together on this. Good evening, Brother Keith." I say, and he says, "Thank you for your friendship and service. Take care." Always. Time goes by. The date was March 16th, 2015 at 7:09 p.m. I see him online and I say, "Hello, my dear brother. Just wanted to say thank you. My experience last night was very expanding. I thoroughly enjoyed it." I sent him a picture of my son. He says, "Beautiful young man. What a delightful life you have, Keith." And I say, "My son is sitting next to me," and he says, "Thank you." He says, "He is most welcome." I say, or ask, the key for the experience, do you have the night? Some of this is just broken up. The key for the experience, do you have the night? Was I on your planetary station, or was it aboard a ship? He says, "The big station is a ship." And I say, by the way, the first line of the sentence was, "Thank you very much for the experience the other night. I remember much of it." He responds by saying, "You're most welcome, brother. I felt that you would remember quite a bit." And I say, a few things I remember in particular. One was playing with a lady by the name of Laura in a swinging house. The other was seeing you hovering over me. The other was feeling the implant embedded in my arm just below my left elbow. And finally, I remember the fairy by the name of Halo moving her arms through my energy field, removing false energy from me. It was most delightful and very invigorating. Thank you, my brother Nuke. He says, "I thought you might enjoy yourself. Do you recall entertaining us? When I tell you I play aboard their spaceship and it's like a dimmer switch comes on when I perform?" Told you. This is what he says. "Do you recall entertaining us?" I say, "I remember some things like talking to the group of kids, asking them how many of them have seen me aboard this craft before. I even remember seeing dolphins and whales swimming, but I don't remember entertaining the group." What did I do? He says, "Someone gave you a musical instrument." I say, vaguely, I sort of remember that. At some point, I was very conscious. I remember even calling the fairy Perithnia, the one that was named Halo. I called a fairy by accident, assuming. And she said, "No, my name is Halo." Perithnia was not there, is what Nucleus said. "But fairies all look alike, LOL," he says. And I say, "Ha!" And I continue, "You are welcome to take me aboard your station anytime, and I ask you some way to help me to always be conscious and glean as much from the experience as I possibly can. I won't keep you any longer, my friend. Have a blessed evening." He says, "I will do my best. Blessings to you, Keith, and your son. Good night, Eden." Notice he addressed Eden just like that. Nucleus said, "Who received the best gift?" And I said, he said, "Good night, Nucleus 8. Okay. We're pertaining to when Eden was born. Who received the best gift? Eden, because his dad loves him, or myself, because I love my son? "How did you know I was going to say that?" he asked. I said, "Because you're a smart man." He goes, At times. If you're not doing anything a little later, feel free to buzz over my house and make your presence known, LOL. He said, listen to this. "This is why, Kelly, I can't get Nucleus 8 on the show. When I said, if you're not doing nothing later in your spacecraft, buzz my house." He goes, "My buzzing tends to get me in trouble, you know." Good night, good night, good night. April 2nd, 2015, 9:27 p.m. He's online and I chime in. "Hello, brother. I'm happy to announce that my radio show has been moved to a premium internet radio network." Told you that story. It goes on and I have so much dialogue here. I want to find the juicy stuff. Juicy stuff. Here we go. So I'm in dialogue with Nucleus 8 again. He asked the questions. The question, why are humans so confused about their spirituality and so conflicted? They do have at hand a perfect manual to be guided by. Is it the ego? And I say, my answer to that is yes, ego, but for good cause. As a child, how can you help what parents, social, government, church puts in your head and then pounds it in over and over, and then when you hear the truth, it sounds like blasphemy to the system. He says, as a child, you are obligated to follow your parents' instructions. But as you walk into the life of an adult, you have free will to choose what is right and correct for yourself through learning. I say, totally agreed. But how does one begin to shake off the crap when you don't know how to? He says, you read. I say, I agree, it's all about responsibility. He says, all should to grow. And I say, I'm sure you see different colors than we do. It's like asking someone to describe one of the colors you see have never seen. That's my best Memphis to Egypt to planetary station answer I can give you at this time. He says, listen to this shit. I gave him a bullshit excuse by a question he put to me. He asked me a question, and I say, I'm sure you see different colors than we do. It's like asking someone to describe one of the colors you see, but we can't see. That's my best Memphis to Egypt to planetary station answer I can give you at this time. He says, I do not accept your example. I said, no excuse, right? He said, correct. I say, I do get it. I was trying to put myself in that place to convey what it must be like, brother. I will let you get back to your vacation. He says, if you have never been in that place, you cannot imagine what the experience is. And I say, always a pleasure. Because I'm trying to sign off. And again, he calls me my bullshit. Listen what he tells me so directly. You don't get offended. You humble yourself. Because it's not about an offense. You don't feel it as an offense. You feel it as, oh my God, I've just been called out. As I'm trying to bow out of this conversation because I'm squirming. And he can see me on another level and he knows it. He says, if you've never been in that place, you cannot imagine what the experience is. I say, yes. Always a pleasure, my friend. Have a good evening. He goes, Keith, are you avoiding me? Have I pressed one of your buttons? Just being polite and considerate. I said, just being polite and considerate. He goes, then stay and talk with me for a while. And I say, you bet. And he says, so tell me why humans wander so blindly looking for the truth. It's within their own grasp. And I say, lazy sheeple. And I say, I think that it's more of the tone you are wanting to hear from me. He says, any tone from you, Keith, I accept. Let me express more, please. I say, go ahead. He says, humans actually come across the truth each and every waking day, some multiple times in any given day. I believe they are blinded by their very own choices, and that blindness is allowed. And I say, yes, yes, yes. So how does one find the switch within to change desire? He says, I have that answer. But you, as well as others, must look for it to find it. Remember, it's within your grasp. I say, I look every day to deepen my answer, understanding and connection to the source. He says, I cannot lead you by the hand to it, since if some are blind to it, they would never see it anyway. Do you understand? He asked me. And I say, I do. He says, very good. Now I will let you go and play with your son. I have a missive I am putting together here. A mission I'm putting together here. And I say, I hope to see you again in the physical one day, soon. Just your presence in my life has opened me up to things of goodness and expansion. Take care, my alien friend, my cosmic friend. He says in response, I honor you and value you, dear one. Eden Sky says, thanks, I say. He says, tell him, no thanks necessary, and to enjoy the day. And he says, drop by, meaning Eden, anytime. Nucleus says, I thank him, soon. I'm going to take a pause, get some water. Stick around. I have a little bit, some dialogue left. We're going to go into astral projection. I'm going to tell you personal stories I've had with heroic Nucleus 8 when we get back. Hi, Leslie. Say that. I thought life was pretty dang good until... Greetings, my broham and sister astronauts. Are you ready to launch to inner space? Yanavai here, speaking with another amazing product, Dream Leaf. Dream Leaf is a highly effective lucid dreaming supplement that creates the right neural environment for lucid dreaming to occur. It increases dream recall, dream vividness, and promotes high-level lucid dreams. It is composed of a red pill and a blue pill. Each pill plays an important role in the process of successful lucid dream induction. Dream Leaf targets and lengthens your natural REM cycle because this is the stage of sleep when lucid dreaming occurs. The two parts of this supplement are composed of natural herbs that strengthen the mind. The blue pill and the red pill contain 5 of the most effective lucid dream herbs. The blue pill promotes restful deep sleep, causes REM rebound effect, and elevates dream creativity. The red pill promotes lucid dreams, improves memory, dream recall, and increases dream control. I highly support this product. My ongoing experience with Dream Leaf is absolutely beyond this world. No sound. No sound. I got to learn to hit that button. And I'm sure everybody's telling me. Thank you. So, recap very shortly. Connor Southworth is going to be on Center of Light Radio next Tuesday night. He is the creator of Dream Leaf product, he and his brother. Red pill, blue pill. Blue pill, you take it, you wake up, believe what you want to believe. Red pill, I'll take you to the rabbit hole. And that's what I'm doing tonight. This presentation tonight is out of this world. Like the commercial said, out of this world. In that commercial voice, out of this world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's out of this world. What you're looking at in this screen is who and what we've been talking about. That is Nucleus 8. Alien-human hybrid, over 4,700 plus years old. His mother was a gray alien. His father was an Egyptian king. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? I love it. That's what he looks like. I saw him when I was laying on my back in the starship, the mothership, the space station, which is the mothership, his ship, station, place. Mostly with children. Every time I enter that craft, they're mostly children. Bouncing around. Just bouncing around like young children do. Nucleus 8 is an alien-human hybrid. He's 7 foot tall, has 6 digits on each appendage, white hair. He's very milky, almost like an albino. And later, we're going to be talking about astral projection. Make sure I can get out of the way. Just the other way. Everything is backwards. Astral projection. Welcome, everyone, to the new world. And speaking of new world, I'm going to flex my brand new green screen muscles because I want to shift. I want to shift to this place right here. There we are. So I'm going to continue my conversation I had with Nucleus 8 many years ago into present moment. Where I left off. I see him online again after it was like April. Now it's June 2015. June 2nd, 2015 at 10:13 a.m. And I say, brother. He says, hey man. I said, how are you? Some time off from the station? He says, for a time. I'm well. How are you? Keep in mind his intellect is not like human dialogue. It's not. I say, I'm good. Loving life greatly in this moment and time. In this moment and time. He says, that's excellent thinking. That's not normal dialogue. It's excellent thinking. And I say, yes, sir. I've been shifting a lot lately. I can actually feel changes within. He goes, give me an example. I say, I just feel the dynamic inside. New energies, my thinking, processing, new doors opening and such. He says, be more specific. Be more specific, son. I say, I just feel better, even happier than before. The outside reality is beginning to reflect what seems challenging to describe to you. It's new. Maybe that's why it seems a little tough to put into words. He goes, all right. Let me ask you this. What did you find when you opened a new door? See the open door now in your mind. He wants me to go inside, close my eyes, and see an open door. He goes, what do you find inside? I say, the first thing I saw was you. He says, the boogeyman. He says, ugh. And I say, ha. I say, as soon as I opened the door, you were there. He says, listen to this. This is nuts. I said, I saw you first. As soon as I opened the door, you were there. He says, look beyond me. I say, I see opportunity. He says, to what? I say, possibilities. Things I've always wanted. Stop and really focus. He says, stop and really focus your third eye. It's there. See it. It's distinct. This is not normal human dialogue. There's an energy in it. There's a spirit in it. And I say, success in a personal way. Self-achievement. He says, very good. And I say, something I can be proud of for me and no one else. That's it. Thank you for fishing that out of me. He goes, and how will you obtain this? It's right behind me. Look for something that appears small. When he said, look beyond me. And I say, just keep doing what I'm doing. Patience and intention. Okay, let me look. A skull that was given to me by someone who recently did a sound tuning on me. Amy Jameson, if you're in the house, this was referring to Madra. He says, look again. This is different. And I say, a box. He says, yes. It wants me to open it. He says, grasp the box in both hands. Open it slowly. And I say, it's alive. Conscious it is. He says, of course it is alive, Keith. I say, it's a butterfly. He says, yes. And I say, why does it sound like you? Something is hitting me hard. Emotionally, I am crying. This is good. I suggest you and Eden go see butterflies and you sit down and This is not contrived. This is a dialogue that's happening. I see and it says scene. I sent a message, he says scene. It says scene. I said it's a box, he says yes. I say something is hitting me hard emotionally. I'm crying. He goes, this is good. I suggest you and Eden go see butterflies and you sit down and listen to what they have to say. And I say, and why does it seem that you are attached to this? Are you working with on me at levels I am not aware of? Okay, on the Eden thing. Nucleus 8 says, Keith, I am always with you on many levels. Some you are aware of, some you are not. And I say, I understand that, but this seems like you were doing something with me to generate a new change in my life. In and out, again, I'm looking for the right words. He says, I am simply facilitating growth. I don't know if that's... I continue. I don't know if it's that I am going on your station more often than I realize. He says, you are. And I say, just know that I love you and I appreciate all that you are and stand for. And he says, I honor you also. I say, what I love most for me is doing my creative work. He says, when you zone out during a performance is one of the times I see you at the station. I've told you that before. When I play and I think of Nucleus 8 and I zone out, they see me like a dimmer switch light that goes on, and I'm performing for these children and all these extraterrestrials on this planetary station. Mothership. He says, when you zone out during a performance is one of the times I see you at the station. I say, very cool. He says, indeed. I say, do I appear as energy or can you actually see me? Next time I zone out, I will remember to consciously connect with you, to you. He says, you are in this dimension and mind simultaneously. Your physical is in both places. I say, maybe that zone can be a bridge to dialogue with you. He says, of course it can. And I say, sweet. He says, just as this zone we are communicating now. I say, I understand. He says, very good. I thought I knew a lot. I continue, but that seems to show me how little I actually know. He goes, don't be concerned about it, Keith. Throw away your doubts. And I say, done. He says, they will try to come back to you. Simply repel them. I continue. Please tell your station family I said hello. I understand. He said, I will surely do that. How is your son Eden Sky today? Summer vacation? I say, he is great, beautiful, and enjoying his time from school. He says, this makes me happy. He is a fine young man and a bright star. And I say, yes, I love my life. I am putty when he is around. He says, you will have to share him. And I say, I know, yes. I love how he affects people. He wants me to interview, listen to this, at this time in 2000 whatever. I share with Nucleus 8, my son wants me to interview him on my radio show. I told him yes. Nucleus 8 says, that is a wonderful idea. Now I have a question for you. And I say, okay. And Nucleus says, what was your response when you saw him talking to someone you could not see? Nucleus 8 asked me a question. Keith, what was your response when you saw your son talking to someone you could not see? And I asked, was this recently? I don't remember the occasion, at least not right now, but I know he lives in his own open world. And Nucleus says, think back to when he was younger. A task for you, my friend. And you should discuss this with him also when you feel the time is right. I say, I will. He says, give him my regards, please. I say, you can bet on that. If ever the time comes, you are always welcome to come on my show. For those who have asked if I can interview Nucleus 8, this is when I asked him in the dialogue, please come and let me interview on my show. We can do it in a hush fashion. Hush fashion mean a pre-record so they cannot target him, single him out, find him, and use the Star Wars program to shoot gamma ray emissions at him and delete his existence. And this is his response. That would be an honor, perhaps one day. I say, thank you just for considering, brother. I am excited about editing my show from last night, which was when Rex, the doctor, was interviewed. He says, always a delight to connect with you on any plane. And I say to him, someone in England sent this to me and I thought it was perfect. Check this out. His name is Nucleus 8. And when I saw this, the day that he contacted me, after 14 years, check this out. Instead of Nucleus 8, it's Nucleus 3. But 3 is half of the 8. So you get the coinkadink, the idea. And this is what he says to me. Ah, I saw that at an earlier time. Interesting. And I say, are you getting around these days? He says, a little. And then he continues. It has been a pleasure to converse with you, Star Child. Work hard and fly with the butterflies I talked about. And I tell him, I will see you at the station. He says, I will see you anywhere, anytime. There is so much dialogue. Let me see how much there is. I'm going to be done with that. I'll get into the stories. I will fill in all the gaps that I'm not reading. It's ongoing. The last time I spoke with him was, let's see what at least it dictates. It says that the last time I spoke to him by date. See, I'm scrolling, forever scrolling. October 9th, 2018 is the last time I spoke with Nucleus. Heroic Nucleus 8. Wow, look at all the comments. All right, we're taking a quick pause. I'm going to share a couple of Nucleus 8 stories with you, and then we're going to fall into the Astral projection segment. I am Yah-Nava. What is Yah-Nava? It's that thing right there. Yah, heart, God, will. Na, mind, intellect, when it's balanced. Reason, discernment. Backbone is Va, Yah-Nava. Backbone is action. Take action. Plug into Yah-Nava. It is your sacred seed syllables. Sexy, beautiful self. From my dear sister, Andrea Forrest. What better song can there be than a song for peace? I'm going to be right back.
जो है आया, शून्य स्थान में वो है समाया, अनंत नभ पे जो है छाया, अनहद नाद जिसने सुनाया। जल वायु धरती अग्नि आकाश अनंत हर राग रंग, डमरू नाद से सृष्टि बनाई, रचा दिव्य और भव्य प्रसंग। डमरू का शोर, डमरू का जोर, नस नस में अब रहा गूंज गूंज, इस दिव्य नाद पर ब्रह्म ताल पर तांडव नृत्य करे ओ घोर। अनंत न आदि न अंत, जो पाप पुण्य से परे रहे, जो सोच की हदों तक फैला और सोच से परे भी रहे। सन्यासी तपस्वी बैरागी भोगी वो गृहस्थ संसारी, झूम झूम के नृत्य रचाया, अगले ही पल निश्चल साया। योगी ने राह बताई, योग ज्ञान की भेंट चढ़ाई, योग पंथ की नींव रखी और योग क्रांति की आस जगाई।
Welcome to the center of light. Are you thumping right now? Are you vibing from that last piece of beautiful spiritual expression, that music? Sadhguru dancing around, God dancing. Have you ever seen God dance? That's what God dances like. I just decided, I did post last night or the night before, the link of the Mahashri Ratri Festival 2019. And some knucklehead who recorded it or whatever claims copyrights. Like, man, are you serious? Are you going to take a piece of beautiful God work and copyright it to where nobody can just post it? I will find it. And we're going to do another 12-hour marathon. I am going to do another 12-hour marathon. I had to get some sleep. 12-hour marathon. Pack your picnic basket, as Yogi Bear would say, hey, boo-boo. We're going to get down. We're going to revisit the Kundalini energy. We're going to awaken Shiva. I am. Welcome back to Out of This World. Shiva is out of this world. 3 aspects of God. It always comes in 3s in the Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Brahma, God. Shiva, the empty void, the womb of creation. And Vishnu. Sai Baba is Vishnu. Sai Baba is Shiva. They're all the same, but they're interchangeable personalities. If you need that word to help you understand the 3 aspects. Yanava. Something's coming in. This is really strange. This never happens for me. It's almost like, and no pun intended for those who follow me. It's almost like an internet disruption. No joke. It's like the severing of a tether. It feels strange. It feels awkward, and I don't like it. I'm okay. I'm falling in my not liking it. It's just an interruption. I'm very much aware of that. So we're going to have a 12-hour marathon. I had to get some rest. When that energy starts moving, and I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get everything prepared. And a night of playing music before that. But this time I'm in it for the long haul. I want to stand up and experience the whole thing. I want to sit down, lay down, whatever comes natural to me in that moment. So tonight's presentation is out of this world, and Shiva is out of this world. Sadguru himself, which means earthly saint. Awareness in Sadguru. Awareness in 16 dimensions simultaneously. Nucleus 8 can monitor 6 dimensions. Sadguru has awareness in 16 dimensions simultaneously. God on earth today. Definitely close to the Godhead. I mean, right in there. If you watch this 12-hour marathon, you will experience it for yourself. You know, bring Jesus with you. Bring Buddha with you. Krishna, whatever your thing is. Bring it with you to oversee all of your affairs. But get involved. To evolve all that you wanted to resolve. It will happen. Sadguru says that Shiva was not a human being. Definitely celestial. He was a human being when he climbed up the hill. When he came down the hill, he was not a human being. In fact, Sadguru even goes as far as to label Shiva as an extraterrestrial, an alien. He uses that word deliberately, alien. Doesn't mean some spacecraft comes down and casts a beam of light and manifest this extraterrestrial, what Egypt would call a god kind of being. That's not what it is. It's just not from this place at all. We're going to do that again soon. Do you have the cojones? Do you have the tits? Do you have the muster, the fire to jump out of the airplane, a perfectly good airplane, off the cliff? I do. So tonight we're talking about out of this world. I'll give you a couple of 3 experiences I have with Nucleus 8, and we're going to move into the realm of astral projection. Let me say hi to all the newcomers. Carl Lapros in the house, sexy man. Childhood friend. Played drums, I played the guitar. Sean Few, I don't know if you're still here. Whoever is still here, even if you're watching from a distance because you don't want to come in the forum, you just got the speaker on, send me an exclamation point. You can exit. I want to see who's here. It helps me to connect. Sean Few, I don't know how long ago. I hope you're here. Sean, if you're here, send me an exclamation point. I might direct some energy. Not that I might, not because I'm trying to fish you. I'd like to know you're still here. Heather's in the house. Adana. Amy. Amy has a new spiritual name. Mine is Yanava. Hers is Janava. So I just called you Amy. Hello, Jamie. Gina. Lynn Marie. Tiffany Bramble. Sean Few. There's a lot about Sean Few. Melanie's on fire. The goddess of fire, Queen of Wands. Puriwa Purihapakuku is in the house. Wendy Kale, Maria Thompson. Krista Huggins says, I just love seeing him dance. When that man starts to move around, my heart starts to move around. You are so right, Krista. He dancing, that's what God would dance like, wouldn't it not be? Just so joyful and free. Hello. I'm assuming it says French, Cajun French, or France. De France, Headlight Restoration. Amy just said, yes, that was so amazing when I watched it that day. We're going to revisit. I am going to revisit that place. Elwood says, it freaking excites me. That is the correct word, excites. It vibrates the tines on the soul tuna fork. Tuna fork? Tuning fork. Hello, Jackie. Deborah Hale, welcome. Carl Lapperoux says, I am here and aware. Of course you are, my childhood friend. That's why you are successful in your life. Successful meaning blissful, beautiful family. Doing your thing. That's amazing, bro. I recognize and acknowledge you. Yes, Nathan, this is still live. We are live right now at Center of Light Radio Studios. All right, so we covered all that ground. Let's get into the dialogue about my stories with my alien-human hybrid friend, Nucleus 8. Nuke, or 8. Why is his name Nucleus 8? Good question. Keith, I asked that question. It's because Nucleus, the first part of his name, is because he was deliberately and intentionally grown for the purpose of security in this quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy. He was grown for that mission and that purpose. Nucleus, center of light. That I get to hang out with this knuckle-headed alien. The number 8 in his name refers to he is number 8 on the board of 12. Someone asked me the other day, is there a galactic federation? There are 4 of them. Nucleus 8 is number 8 on the board of 12 and this quadrant of our galaxy. Quadrant means a fourth. So if there are 4 quadrants, then there are 4 galactic federations for each quadrant. Now you can bet there's a higher council, a higher level of hierarchy that oversees the quadrant. And it would likely be 2. And there would be another hierarchy of the 1 galactic federation that oversees the 2 that oversees the 4. Right? Simple math. So he's number 8 on the board of 12. Nucleus 8. He was grown. He roams around the galaxy with his police officers, stomping out fear, stomping out cosmic disease, and things of the like. They also help stars to be born. Whatever is required at their level of consciousness and operation, they do. We are humans, and we follow God in any form that we feel is most sacred to us. And we do. They have a little more advanced technology, but also evolution. Listen to this. This is what they call God. We call God God. That is not God's name. That is something that represents the highest authority. God is not its name. It has many names. But what the extraterrestrials, at least on Nucleus 8's mother planetary station, they call God. They call God breath. Are we listening? What is breath? Breath is life. So if breath is life and God is life, then breath and God are interchangeable qualities. They call God breath. Let me share this with you, what he told me. One day, he shared with me that he was having an operation because something, as Nucleus 8, head of security for this quadrant of our galaxy, a beam, what we probably call like an I-beam, fell on his head. And they performed extraterrestrial surgery. And he left the mothership planetary station to come to Earth. So he didn't have, kind of, sort of like an anesthesia. So he didn't have to be there while it was happening. But while it was happening, he didn't feel it. But when you go in someone's brain, you move things around, their body parts will move because you're activating and exciting those body parts. You could see this woman, 5'1" woman that this 7 foot tall extraterrestrial works through, kicking his feet, shaking. He's not putting on an act. This wasn't an act. Wasn't an act. So 6 months after I began hanging around Nucleus 8, I saw him at an event, a spiritual event. And he says, Keith, would you like counselor, which is the doctor, the psychiatrist, that married the woman that Nucleus 8 works through, says, counselor, would you like counselor and I to come to your house, poke around a little bit inside, and see what's going on, maybe to find out if there's anything you need to clear up, to give you somewhat of a shortcut or a boost. I said, yes, please. We set a date. The doctor and his wife, Star One, Marjorie, came to my then girlfriend's house. We meet and greet for a while. Then we venture into the bedroom where I'm laying on a table. The doctor puts me in. A very light hypnosis. Ah, Keith, I get it. You were being hypnotized. No, I was not. I'm not a fool. I was put under a light hypnosis. And as he's counting me out, 3, 2, 1. Before he snaps his finger, Nucleus 8, which is the woman, whispers in my ear and says, hello, Keith. I said, Nucleus. He said, keep your eyes closed. I said, okay. He says, you remember that journey I've been promising you? I said, yes. He goes, are you ready? I said, yeah, I am. He says, all right. Keep your eyes closed. Give me your hand. So I'll give him my hand. And he begins to pull on my hand, tug on my arm. And as he begins to pull on my arm, my consciousness of everything that I know as me begins to leave my body as if I'm pulling on this shirt, but out of my arm. I get out about what we call 7, 8, 9 feet. When I am out, I find myself in a starship, spaceship, very sleek, I just knew it was very sleek and very fast. Something aerodynamic, because they do police the universe. So they want aerodynamics, there's no air, but you get the idea. Something that is freaking fast as God knows what. And their fuel is the energy of crystals. So when I get out about 9 feet, give or take, I'm inside of a craft, his ship. And I come to a state of consciousness and I say to myself, Where are all the chairs? Chairs begin to pop out of the wall. They conserve energy on every level because they are smart. On their planetary station, there are 12 what we would call monks-like individuals that pray. Listen to this. This is ridiculous. 12 monk-like beings that sit in a circle over this vortex void, and they pray into this cosmic battery that powers the entire planetary station mothership. They conserve energy on every level. As soon as I got done with the thought, the chairs popped back into the wall. And next thing you know, Keith is back into his body. And I got somebody breathing hot, moist air in my ear saying, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I'm trying to figure out what or what not to do to make this happen." He says, "That's your problem right there, Keith. Don't do anything. Your job is to let go." Here we go again. He begins to pull on my arm, and I get out about 15 to 20 feet. And I saw all kinds of things. And he lets go. And he says, "Keith, some part of you is not letting go. I cannot, nor will I ever, will violate your free will. We're done." He asked me what I saw. I described to him. He tested me. And he said, "Correct, correct. No, that is not correct. Yes, that is correct." When I was out of my body in the starship, the second time, when I went to another place of consciousness, this is going to freak you the fuck out. Nucleus 8 told me that there is a particular, let's use the word gender. Not only feminine, just because you're a girl or female alien. They're called mothers. When one of these mothers look at you with the intention of pulling you in, when they pull you into themselves, you experience an entirely different universe. They're called mothers. One final story with Nucleus 8. $1998 and a half. I am in Martin, Tennessee with the doctor and his wife, Star One. Hanging out, chilling out. So later that night, the sister who introduced me to Nucleus 8, Laura, myself, my then girlfriend Wendy, just hanging out. They lived in a mobile home off a little shell road that led to a long dirt road. On that dirt road, as we took a left out of the driveway, there would be a barbed wire fence and a pasture. A barbed wire fence on this side of the road and some trees. And as we were walking down the road, let's say 3 minutes of walking down the road, away from the only street lamp, which was at their driveway, 3 minutes away from the street lamp. There's no more light pollution. So it's Laura and Star One, the woman at that moment. Myself behind Laura, and my then girlfriend Wendy behind Star One. And we're just walking down the road. Whoever smokes cigarettes, smokes a cigarette. Now that street torch is way in the distance. Out of nowhere, Nucleus 8 steps in and turns around out of Star One and says, "Hello, Keith. Hello, Wendy." Because Star One talks like this. That's what you would expect from a 5'1" woman. When Nucleus comes in, it is robust. It does not stop. It's relentless. So Nucleus says, hello, Keith. Hello, Wendy. And I said, Nuke, what's up, bro? He goes, Keith, Wendy, have you guys ever seen a fairy before? And I say, no. And I look at Wendy, because I told her about Nucleus 8. This is the first time she ever meets him. And she looks at me as I look at her. She goes, oh my God, Keith, is this for real? I said, I think we're about to see a fairy. He says 60 feet, give or take, down the road on the right, sitting on a plant leaf, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and the only thing that is illumined is the moon and the stars. Perithnia, my sister fairy friend, is going to be sitting on a plant leaf. We're going to go say hi to her. I swear to you, on the life of my child, 60 feet-ish down the road, this woman, superimposed with an alien-human hybrid, walks up to this leaf and raises it up only to expose the next leaf under it with a globule of light the size of my thumb. I swear to you, the size of a marble. And it's sitting there just pulsing, glowing as if it's communicating with Nucleus 8. And it begins to have a dialogue with it. And it does this. And it responds. And then it begins to talk to him over and over and over. 45 seconds, a minute. And then Nucleus says, Perithnia wants us to follow her. I swear to you, as soon as he says that, off of the plant leaf, she comes and she starts bouncing down the same direction of the road we were going. Like in a Disney movie, a little ball of light bouncing down the road. Wendy and I are beside ourselves, fucking freaking out. Barbed wire fence, cow pasture, barbed wire fence, trees. It was stars, just like the stars you see in this background image. Just one of those beautiful nights. As we walk down the road, following Perithnia, the fairy, Nucleus 8 says, she's got to go. And just like that, off she darts across the barbed wire fence towards the field. Right? Final story, short version. Chinese restaurant, big round table. 8 of us are sitting at the round table for buffet after metaphysical church. Marjorie, star 1, is sitting at the table with her husband, the 40-year clinical psychologist who wrote 5 books on this subject about his life with Marjorie and Nucleus 8 and the fairies and the shamans and the archangels, called Fairies, Angels, Shamans, Indians, kind of thing. If you're interested in it, I will see. And they're all free. They are free. You get the book just like that. We're sitting at a round table at a Chinese buffet restaurant on a Sunday. And everybody's sitting there. Marjorie, star 1, everybody's sitting at the table. And out of nowhere, Nucleus steps in. Hello, everybody. I said, what's up, dog? We dialogued, meet and greet for a while. He says, Keith, do you want a friend? I said, I have lots of friends. What do you mean? He goes, do you want a special friend? I said, explain. He goes, scoot your chair back. I said, what? He says, scoot your chair back, Keith. I said, why? He says, I'm going to sit someone in your lap. I scoot my chair back, take a breath, and I feel a ghost, to use the word, something, some being sit on my lap, and you can see, and I can feel the impression and the weight of it on me. Literally. This is not, oh, can I feel a subtle energy? Yes, I can. Oh, me, it wasn't that. I feel someone literally sitting on my lap. And he says, what is his name? And I said, Ick. I don't know why I called it Ick. He said, that is exactly correct. My then girlfriend, Wendy, I look at her. She's looking back at me. And she goes, Oh my God, is there someone really there? I said, I swear to you, there's someone sitting on my lap. She looks at Nucleus 8 and says, can I please have a friend? Nucleus 8 says, scoot your chair back, Wendy. She scoots a chair back and she looks at me because her eyes are closed. She looks at me, she goes, oh my God. She said, and Nucleus says, what is your friend's name? She says, Carol. There are many more stories. This all happened. It happened. And it's still happening. The intervals are greater. Head of security. He's a busy being. Right? Let me see who's here. Take a short pause. Come back with no more Nucleus 8. I'm full of Nucleus. He's probably laughing and goes, you need to talk more about me. Maria, Jackie, Amy, Shesha, Mary, Adana, CJL, Carl Laperon. Carl, I'm so proud of you and your children. The karate with your daughter, your son playing drums. That's awesome. Tawny, Pri, Puriwa, Pri Hapakuku, Elwood, Melanie Davis, Nathan, Heather, Rena. I love me some Rena. Krista. We're going to be right back. Center of Light. I am the center of light. Listen to me, y'all. It's me. It's you. It's we. We're all or it. We're going cosmic. We're not going cosmic. It's always been cosmic. We're just becoming aware of that. Gonna be right back. I'm going to talk about astral projection, lucid dreaming. A way to tap in to the everything now. My bro him sandwich, Carl Lapper, says, my daughter is playing bass now. I saw that. Phenomenal. Gonna be right back. Let's see if we're gonna play. Melanie, I'm gonna give it 30 seconds. Not because I'm pressuring you. I'm just hoping that Facebook responds in 30 seconds. What song does Melanie want to hear? Melanie says, Lord, I need a cigarette after that. Did you just get moist, sweet pea? Melanie got moist. A lot of women hate that word. More reason to love it. Gina says, wow. Jennifer, oh, hello, Jennifer. Angela Tyner. Deborah Hale. All right, Melanie. Boy, she won't leave me on numb teeth. Love me some melody. Yeah, Carl, I did see your daughter play bass. That's awesome, bro. I like that your children are on fire. They have aspirations. All right. David Murray Raper up here. Everybody, give me an exclamation point if you're still here. If you're outside of this forum, just send me an exclamation point. It's okay if you're introverted. That's cool. Maybe just step out, or maybe you just don't like what I'm doing. That's cool, too. All right. I know what Melanie wants. Melanie gets. She is the goddess of fire, the queen of wands. Here you go, dear. Lavender Soul, we're going to get down to astral projection, out-of-body experiences, stargates, really, stargates. They live inside all of us. Here you go, Mel Mel.
I lift you up to your most high. Cherish the time when you walk by. I see you in my life for all time. I've touched your face 1,000 lifetimes. I know the way you talk in rhymes. The breath you take is part of mine. just to know you're there, just to know you're there. So here we go again, lifeless ones with a friend, another chance to let love in. And in another life, our eyes will meet one more time. I see you in my life for all time. As you float before my eyes, touch my hand, it makes me cry. Just to know you're there, just to know you're there. As you float before my eyes, touch my hand, it makes me cry. Just to know you're there, just to know you're there. As you float before my eyes, you touch my hand, it makes me cry. Just to know you're there, just to know you're there, just to know you're
Welcome back to the center of light, my beautiful, sexy friends, cosmic family, tribe, people, siblings. Yeah, phenomenal song choice. Hello, Brenda, Maria. Carl, are you still here? And if you are, hello to his beautiful daughter, Livy, who is into karate and really good at it. She is a force, and she's a bass player diva. Carl, if you're here, send me an exclamation point, please. Because I want to say something I think would be cool. So now we're going to get into the segment of Out of This World, which is about astral projection. Why is everything looking fuzzy? That has to be a Facebook issue. One moment. There we go. Good. So we're going to talk about astral projection. What is astral projection? You do it. You may not know it's called that. You may have also heard the term out-of-body experience. They're the same. It's shifting to another dimension of your own self and experiencing other dimensional realities, be it angelic, be it of your deceased loved ones, be it of extraterrestrials. I've done all of them. I remember many years ago flying through the universe and I end up in a reality, and there is Archangel Uriel sitting on a branch of a tree whittling on an apple. Just sitting there, whittling on an apple. These realms of spirituality do exist. Simply, they do. I tell this story somewhat every now and then. One of my nighttime excursions, these are not dreams. I want to change that background. It's not right for the moment. I'm not trying to show off my green screen. It's just not right for my moment. We're going to be right back after a word from our sponsor. Much better. For me. So one night, when I came to a state of consciousness, I'm in a castle. Old motherfucker castle, right? One of those haunting, kind of beautiful at the same time kinds of castles. I come to a state of consciousness, and as I'm coming to consciousness, I'm walking down this carpet, almost like a church. It's not a church, but it was in a cathedral type room, to where there are benches and pews, not pews, but whatever. And I'm walking down this aisle towards this direction. As I'm 3/4 to the door from where I became conscious, as I'm walking, conscious but unconscious, I become more conscious because I see legs. Women's legs. And they were smoking hot. And it's stocking and fishnet or whatever it is that floats your boat in that moment. The legs woke me up. And as I scanned from their feet to their shins, to the knees, all the way up the hips, the bust, and it was robust. I'm a robust bust kind of guy. It was amazing. My kundalini was beginning to move. My sexual energy was beginning to move up my backbone. So now I want to check out how pretty they are. Had nothing to do with good looks. They were not pretty at all. They had these demonic cat demon faces, fangs. You could just feel it. And I realized that as I finally was able to look into their eyes, they wanted me to hang out with them and make a sandwich. It was tempting. The devil, tempting. The offer was tempting. And I said, I think I'm going to go step outside. And they say, why would you do that? The sun is going to burn you. And I said, that's exactly why I'm going outside. Purification. I opened the doors, the double doors, like you would see on the exit of a church. And when I step outside into the daylight, my skin began to burn. It was somewhat an uncomfortable burn, but you could feel it. It's almost like getting burned to where you have a blister, but you won't have a blister because you're not that close. It was a purification. And a blackout just like that. And a white in again. Now I'm in a meadow. Listen to this. I'm in a meadow, laying on my back, looking straight up at the sky. And decide to get my wits about me, look around. And straight in front of me, 25 feet that way, in front of me, is a very tall, probably like 16-foot cross. It's just sitting there. And I see the rolling hills behind the cross because I'm in a meadow. Flowers everywhere. Flowers. Very important word. Full bloom flowers. Spring flowers in a meadow. Wildflowers. Smells. Blues, purples, yellows, oranges, greens. It's just freaking gorgeous. And I'm staring at this 16-foot cross. Whatever, however tall it was. And something inside of me, excuse me, as I'm staring at this cross, I hear just like that. And as I'm hearing this, simultaneously, 2 dimensions, in my eye, my consciousness, my mind, I'm seeing images of my life since I was born to that moment flash in front of me. But check this out. It was black and white. Why was it black and white? Because it was my past black and white in an older time. Before, in the 40s and 50s kind of idea. This is how my mind was painting the picture to explain to me where I was in this experience that was taking place. So I'm staring at this huge cross, laying in this meadow, hearing this sound in my ear, explaining everything, every space thing to me as I see everything happen. And I begin to go into this sit-up crunch. This kind of thing. And buckling down and knuckling down and bearing down. It hurt in my gut, in my abdomen, my solar plexus, my power center. And I began to scream out loud the word love once in an everlasting drone. I stayed in it. I snap out. Or in, rather. I find myself in a wormhole. What you know the wormhole to look like. The tubular swirling energy, galactic cosmic event kind of thing. I'm in a wormhole. Traveling at light speed to God knows where. Because I didn't know at that time. Only God knew. I remember this very distinctly. It was natural. Not only did I remember that it was natural, I remember that I was remembering how natural flying through this wormhole actually was. This wormhole takes what I call a universal turn. It wasn't planetary. I didn't just travel around the planet, just took a right turn. I traveled through infinity, light distances. Though it took 30 seconds, I was traveling at 186,000 miles per second. Using, quote, judgment. When you come to a red light, you know how to use judgment to apply your brakes. Knowing I'm going to come upon a place, I need to start applying my spiritual brakes. And I'm taking what I would call a universal turn. I turned left hugely. I took a very wide right that lasted light years. And I'm in the void. The void. Shiva, I'm in the void. There's nothing there. Nothing in this void except me. And in this void, which always implies a darkness, no lights, there was an illumination in this void. And this illumination was my own conscious awareness. I was in my higher self. And what I decided to do in that moment, hyper conscious I am, is to send the lower Keith lying on the bed a couple of little bitty tiny minuscule pulses. Because I know at this level, I don't want to push. I push, he will explode. I threw a couple seeds. I look up because I'm being prompted intuitive wise, only to see 12 angels circling above me as if they're dancing around a maypole. I don't know if they were close and small or distant and very large. I don't recall that. My guess is they were far enough to be like, my God, that is some distance. And they also did have some size to them. And as they were swirling around this maypole, they swooshed off to another plane. And in their swishing off, their current pulled me in. And shortly after, I find myself standing before the Godhead. God. The it. God. Are you sure it was God? But I didn't see it as one might imagine. I knew the invitation was given. Did I dare to walk into the playground of the soul? They showed me a very quick glimpse. They lifted the curtain and say, done. Do you want to come in? I was like, my God, I do. But I knew that in the coming in of that experience, everything I knew that I thought was true, right, wrong, holy, blasphemous, was going to be shattered. I wasn't ready to let that go. This is what astral projection, soul experiences will do for you. How can one ever expect to know God? The all of it, if we don't ever begin to experience the small of the it all of it. Astral projection, we do this every single night. You ever find yourself in a school or a class? You're present in another reality. You are. It may feel like a dream, but you're not dreaming. Dreams are those things that happen that we look back and go, that was like I was watching a movie on the screen. That would be called a dream. When you're so aware that you can go, oh my God, I'm here. I am present. When you are present, you are present. If you're not present, where are you? There are many different ways to induce astral projection. One is the first and foremost, it alone is the 50% mark, is the want to be in it. Without that want, without that 50%, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, so forth and so on does not happen. It does not happen. You have to want it. Why would I want it? Oh my God, you will learn to integrate your immortality. You will lose your fear of death. You will experience, oh my God, I am not my body. I am, this, at least for now, this astral form. But you even beyond that. I was the astral form when I was in the cathedral type haunted house thing with the demon, awesome looking hot women. But when I was in the meadow, I shifted through the wormhole to another plateau, another level of existence. I was no longer in the astral. I was in the soul. Small pause. When I get back, I want to share with you the closing of this presentation, so thank you. But what it was like to be in my, see, I'm stalling my words so I can find that what I'm looking for. Now I sound like William Shatner. My penthouse with an angelic being. My penthouse. Tell you that story shortly. Welcome to Center of Light Radio. My name is Yanava. Yanava. Be right back.
She turned to me and told me life was not too easy unless you can let go. I lay surprised at the simpleness of her soul. Wasting away in a sea of uncertainty. She had stayed with me for days. I needed love in so many different ways. And as I watched, she floated through the room. And as I cried, she was there to dry them too. Hold me and don't let go. Hold me. Never leave. Never leave. Angel of love, will you always be with me so I can let go? Reveal to me the beauty of your soul. I turned away, her light was so blinding, the energy of her love. She said goodbye and turned into a dove. As I watched, she floated through the room. And as I cried, she was there to dry them too. Hold me and don't can let go. Reveal to me the beauty of your soul.
Welcome back to the final segment of Center of Light. Coincidentally, that song is called Angel of Love. I didn't pre-plan this. On some level, on a conscious level. And right before commercial break, I proceeded to tell you about an experience I had earlier. In fact, early in the broadcast. I called this my penthouse. This screen background. Years ago, out and about in dreamland, I come to a state of consciousness and there's an angel. Keith, are you sure? There was an angel cradling me like that old alien woman in their arms, flying through a city with me. Down a street. So I'm flying down a major vessel in the downtown district of some reality, being cradled by an angel. When I came to my wits, I look over me to see this being, and the being looks at me and goes, "Hold on tight, here we go." I look around and see all the buildings are on fire. But the fire was purple. It was divine fire. It was illumined energy. So I'm on this level of existence with this angel flying me down this street. After I get my wits about me and look at the angel, I start to look ahead again to see where we're going. And we're flying into this imagine the most amazing, largest oak tree you've ever seen. And you're flying, and you're heading and flying directly into it. And it was on fire. The tree of fire, the burning bush, times a million. And this thing was purple, and it was illumined. And the angel looks at me and says, "Hold on, here we go." And we entered into the bush. And guess where we landed? We landed in this penthouse that using as an image to describe you what it was like for me as I astral traveled to a level of soul experience. So I get in this penthouse, and the angel is sitting on the couch. An angel. It was a woman, at least disguised, projecting to me woman, nurturing, loving, supporting, all these qualities of femininity. So as we get into this penthouse, and in this penthouse, like you see behind me, that glass bay window, the whole penthouse all the way around was glass. And I could, metaphorically, I could see everywhere. I was so excited to be in this penthouse. I was just getting my jollies. But the fact that I could float into the roof, into the ceiling. And I'm half in the ceiling and half out. And the angel sitting on the couch of this penthouse, which I did not know at the time was mine, grabs my foot because I'm floating in the ceiling and pulls me down ever so gently, says, "Sit here for a second, Keith, talk with me." When I focused on the angel, my kundalini shot through the fucking roof. Shot through the roof. Out of nowhere, a phone in this penthouse begins to ring. And it rings. And the angel looks at me and says, "Aren't you going to answer that?" I said, "Why should I?" She says, "Keith, this is where you live. This is your place. Answer your phone." So whatever dialogue I had on the phone, it was brief, it was cosmic, whatever. I put the phone down. And then I started paying attention to the angel again. And my sexual energy shot through the roof. And I motioned towards the being. And the being said, "We're done with this dialogue." And she exited out. I tell you all these stories tonight out of this world because they are out of this world. Out of the world that we know to be. But it's in the world that one day that you hope to see, experience. When you expand, swell, you get out of the demand of hell. This is my penthouse, my new penthouse. I love it. I think I'll dwell here for a while. I'm sitting on my throne, on my kingdom, or if you're feminine, your queendom. What else do you have to do? You've been sitting on God's lap for eternity, and now you're fucking bored. So you come here to play out and hang out in a meat suit for a little while. It may seem like a long time. If you're lucky, you live to be 80. 80 is only even a half a breath in the universal intake and output. Do you understand? I know you do. Let's see what's happening in the room. Thank you, Nathan, for all the mantras and the divine sacred names that you bring into this forum, sir. You said Bodhisattva. You said Krishna, all these wonderful things, Taoism, Shiva. Thank you for anchoring that light, my friend. Yeah. Poriwa Pri Hapakuku says, 11 viewers talking about angels. They're there. I think I'm going to fall inside further with a deliberate intent. I love you. The teachings are going to get greater. Tonight was novel-like, very informative, yes. All agreed, yes. But the teachings and the pushing is going to get greater. The love push. For those, how many of you need a love push? Take that how you choose. You feel me now? Yanava, it has begun. Spirit steps in. And the song is being sung. Daughter and son. Portals are indeed open. Are you one of those who is hoping to get in one? You're in one now. Holy cow, you may say. You're in one now. What does it feel like? Well, I'm not sure what to feel. Exactly. And not knowing what to feel is the gateway. It is the Stargate. It's the Stargate. What are you waiting for? It's happening now. It's happening now. It's happening now. Sounds like there's a vague gray area because it could be 25, 30, 50 years. Now can imply to that. Are you not sure of yourself? Do you not feel what is transpiring? The vessel does. Yanava does. That Yanava, which is not within you, it is you. Do you feel it? Do you hear it? Do I need to steer you closer to it? The gates are open. The gate which is the umbrella of the gates. They're all open. Many of you are feeling it. Mahashivratri Festival 2019. Whether you saw it or not is irrelevant. If you see it, you will see the elephant. But if you did not see it, it does not mean that you have not shifted. In fact, Yanava, soul will go as far as to say that one event that lasted 12 hours shifted the entire world to a higher perspective of spirituality, light, and presence. Sounds cliche, doesn't it? Watch it. Experience it for yourself. The world shifted yet again by the explosion of the divine light that passed through the stargate of Sadhguru. Deborah says, I want to experience this love. If you're serious about that, Deborah, which I don't doubt you are, really soon, I am going to play back this 12-hour event. Everyone who is in the sound of my voice, remind me, my life is so busy, I don't even look at my itinerary. Hey, Keith, are you going to play that? I will, and I will do it. Get your popcorn, get your blanket, get your fur babies, get your stuff, get your wine, get your pot, get whatever you need to make you hunker into a summer camp, spring camp. And Lord Shiva it's not there, but you get my point. Will enter in you. It's happening. It's happening. Scripture is happening. We are the living testimony. You are the living testimony. As well as this beautiful man. And I erased it. Bad on me. Kelly says, thank you. I love invite my birds. Hi, Diane. If you want to learn how to astral travel, if you got $25, all herbal, get on YouTube and look up astral travel. Use your smarts. Use your intuition to say, this is just people repeating parroted shit and nonsense. Find something that reverberates with you. There are many different ways to become conscious of astral projection. You do it every night. But what you want is not to only remember it. You want to experience it. Experience it so the member that you are, you with it. You remember it with it. Many different techniques. 50% of it is you have to want it. The other 50% can come in a myriad of forms. But the other 50% will not happen until you crave it, until you want it. So much so it begins to haunt you and will forever do so. Until you get it done. Just simply get it done. Thank you very much for joining me. Yanava here. The mothership for all you mothers and fathers and sisters. I'm taking off. I'm going to another world. Join me. And if you have a better place, please make room for me. Invite me. I want to go. I want to go. I seriously just want to go. I'm not trying to leave this place. I want to take a vacation, a cosmic vacation. Peace, love, and light. Nucleus 8's in the house. Head of security in this quadrant of our galaxy. Alien human hybrid. Someone I befriended for 4 years. 4+ years. Haven't seen him for 14 and then he shows up. See you soon. I'm looking